Ladies and gentlemen, you welcome to this edition of the Primetime News on EQUINOXE television, live from my headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Bablet Jonathan. Pressure continues mounting on the national chairman of the main opposition political party in the Republic of Cameroon, the Social Democratic Front, to call out the parliamentarians and senators of the party from the upper and lower houses of parliament. John Funding has been under pressure from the separatist fighters who are compelling him to call the senators and parliamentarians of the party out of the lower and upper houses of parliament. And speaking to the press after he was released by his abductors over the weekend, the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Funding, maintains that it is not an issue on the table of the SDF. In fact, the parliamentarians will stay in Parliament. And also in this newscast, we'll analyze the performance of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon at the ongoing 2019 Africa Cup of Nations after they recorded a draw with the Black Stars of Ghana in their second group game. They are, however, leading in Group F. Accidents on highways across the Republic of Cameroon continue recording deaths, and last in the Boumnyebel on the Douala-Yaoundé highway left at least 4 persons dead, and the accident involved a small bus, a 35-seater bus, and of course 70-seater bus of the Interurban Transport Agency General Voyage, and 4 persons died on the spot. Several other persons were equally wounded in that accident that occurred on the Douala-Yaoundé highway, and of course around the locality of Boumnyebel, a locality or a section of that highway recorded or noted for recurrent accidents. And of course several persons have died around that area on the Douala-Yaoundé highway in accidents that are recorded at very close intervals of time. Now to the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, condemnations have been rising to the sky as far as the abduction of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Funding, is concerned. He was abducted by unidentified gunmen at his Tarikon residence in the northwest regional chief town, Bamenda, and later released on Sunday. And of course, our correspondent in Bamenda, Stella, spoke to some persons and compiled this report.
This is the exact spot where one of Chairman's bodyguard was shot on the leg when armed men stormed his residence last Friday. They had come to kidnap John Funding. They forced their way via the main door and dragged the national chairman along this path to their car parked outside.
I come out for house with singlet, with no cap, no shoe for buy. And me and Pa come back in Bingo Hospital. We did hospital with Pa almost for 3 days. The day we will come back on Friday. After 1 hour, 30 minutes, they can't take Pa for house. Oh, I know if they feel fine. I be the only cry. Line of I know if they feel fine. Because me and Pa no they divide except sleep.
This is now in the past.
We thank you, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. We thank you, Lord.
The chairman regained his freedom last Saturday night. Excitement and thanksgiving fills the air at his Tarikon residence as party and non-party members stream in and others calling on phone, all thanking God for answered prayers.
Having seen him alive and strong is a big sacrifice, not only to me, not only to the SDF family, but to Cameroonians as well.
Although the chairman is now free, his brutal abduction and the worsening Anglophone crisis is still a major worry.
The socio-political tension is very high, and life and death is so common. Human life has lost dignity. even those who die natural deaths now don't have the burial they ought to have, for one reason or the other. Fear has gripped the nation.
Well, I thank God, because as he said, this thing, it then inside our house. Because the first arrest na me. They arrest me, take me go inside bush, burn my things. I did, so I not get house to stay inside. I do work and I up. I not get house. Come out for the enter for my small brother. They take him 2 times. Then now they don't enter now for the foundation. So I don't know why way you get for enter now for this. But I still thank God because all we go come back to see.
I'm not happy. The brushes the way I see them for pie skin, so I'm not happy. I don't expect say defeat any man inside this town. So inside this town, fi do that kind of thing, papa. I'm not happy, no small mama. I'm not happy.
The ever-smiling chairman is tired but not exhausted to crack jokes and share with all who came and are coming.
And in the report coming up next, the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Fundi, tells a correspondent in the Northwest region, Bustela, exactly what happened on the day he was picked up and what the abductors told him while he was in captivity.
Me like a pig. I was nothing better than a pig.
John Fundi made this statement while narrating how his abduction took place last Friday, June 28, 2019, shortly after he returned from hospital where he has spent 3 days.
Since I came back from hospital, I was feeling a little dizzy. So I laid down to rest. I was not 10 minutes in my rest when I heard gun firing in my compound and even in the parlor. I was so taken aback that I ran out with a t-shirt on and a trousers. Luckily, I had these things on to find out what was happening. That were shooting guns even in my own parlor, As I opened the door and engaged on the corridor, I saw this young man with heavy muscles walk up and I said, "Come!" and grabbed me on my chest. I said, "Please, I'm just from hospital. Can you let me know what is happening?" You know, he dragged me because I was busy. He dragged me on the floor of my parlor, dragged me through the corridor here, through the yard. They dragged me like a pig. And when they put me into the car, shuffled me into the car and were now going, those of you with cameras, if you look here carefully, they knocked me with their gun here about 5 times and took me into what you call a cell.
The chairman was released between 9 and 10 p.m. Saturday, June the 29th. This is not the first time the chairman is taken hostage, but the demands are almost same. This time, a 24-hour deadline is given.
They said you want you to declare, they brought the cameras, to declare on a camera now that you'll get your people out of parliament, out of senate, and out of council in the next 24 hours. You have to say it here and now for us. I said, sir, you don't hold me at gunpoint to make such statements. You cannot do it because you have to tell me why. They said, no, they're disturbing our cause. I said, why is it only the SDF parliamentarians? They said, because those are parliamentarians who have faith and confidence in. When they come out, we'll know what to do with the rest. I said, okay, fine.
Despite the threats, intimidations, abductions on his person, family and party members, Chairman Fundi maintains.
I think that we're in trouble in the country because anybody who has an opinion thinks that his or her own opinion is supreme.
The circumstances surrounding his being free are not clear yet.
The chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Fundi, was released Saturday night, breaking Sunday. And of course, the tensions in the Republic of Cameroon are equally being expressed by Cameroonians abroad over the weekend. Over 250, according to figures of the Swiss police force, took to the streets in Geneva protesting against the presence of the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, at the Intercontinental Hotel, and calling on him to come back home and stop squandering the country's resources. And of course, the protest met with stiff resistance from the Swiss police, who used tear gas and water cannons to disperse the protesters. And of course, this has been one of the events occurring in that country in a very long while. The country has not experienced such protests, and there have been reports on Swiss media indicating that this has gone a long way to tarnish the image of Cameroon, and of course to expose the problems faced back at home by President Paul Biya's country. Will be discussing this in the second part of this newscast. And civil society organizations are facing a plethora of challenges in the exercise of their duties. One of them, the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom with Cameroon, is notably facing difficulties working with administrative authorities, and the president of WIF Cameroon, Sylvie Jacqueline Dogmo, indicates that the administration views civil society organizations, including WIF Cameroon, as a threat, whereas they are supposed to be working for the same purpose, that is the well-being of Cameroon and her people. And during an evaluation meeting recently here in the economic capital, Douala, with Cameroon noted that it's been collaborating with some other organizations, personalities, including government, some few government officials, and of course media organs, including particularly EQUINOXE Television, that has been supporting the organization in its quest for peace and of course peaceful elections in the Republic of Cameroon. And this is why the organization offered some an excellence award to EQUINOXE Television and other media practitioners and media organs, of course, and other organizations and persons that have been supporting the organization. And we caught up with Sylvie Jacqueline Dogmo, president of WIF Cameroon, and this is what she told us. Take a listen. We'll be having that extract in a subsequent news editions. Now to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where some military and civil personnel today received new epaulets. Over 500 of them received new epaulets and medals of honor, merit, and valor today at the military headquarters in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. And the ceremony was presided at by the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Petit Asomon, and the military officers received new epaulets, raising them to higher ranks. And of course, one of the beneficiaries spoke to us, Captain Frederick Sanjo. Take a listen.
Acquiring new rounds does not mean that I have to go and sleep. This is additional job that has been given to us, and I want to thank God, and I want to pray equally that let God keep on, pushing me ahead, and my hierarchy equally, that they don't relent their effort in coaching us to see that we go to higher ranks as well.
A similar ceremony equally took place here in the economic capital, Douala, at the second military region base here in the economic capital of Cameroon. And of course, the ceremony was presided at by the governor of the littoral region, Samuel Dieudonné Ivaha Dubois. Several military officers received new epaulets, raising them to higher ranks. And now we take an extract of one of the officials who received an epaulet today here in Douala.
I'm extremely very happy. I'm a happy man, and what a happy man on this type of occasion would say is just to say thank you, my God, for choosing me, being alive. You know the current situation that is reigning in our region, in our country, and being someone who is have been appointed or have put on a grade of lieutenant, I should be extremely very happy and to say thank you, God, before thanking the high ranking of our country, the President of the Republic, the chef, the Supreme Chef of Armed Forces.
That was Ejiage Demian, who's been promoted to the rank of lieutenant, speaking to us here. And of course, another ceremony took place in the Kumba in the southwest region of the country, and that ceremony took place under the chairmanship of the senior divisional officer of the Meme Division, Tundong Chamberlain, and of course military officers received new epaulets, raising them to higher ranks, and one of them talked to our correspondent in the Kumba, Linus Obo. Take a listen. All right, on to something else now. We're going to talk sports with the encounter going on right now between Cote d'Ivoire and Namibia. And Cote d'Ivoire is leading by 1-0. It is their last group game, and with the latest information streaming in from Egypt indicates that Cote d'Ivoire is now leading by 2-0. And of course, the Angolans will be playing tomorrow. That will be their last group game. And before that encounter, the Angolan coach spoke to us, and he spoke to our correspondent's special envoy to Egypt, and indicating that they are determined to make it through to the next stage of the competition. Right now, we are going to receive Sportsman, the smart side of the AFCON. The smart side of the 2019 AFCON coming up next. We will be receiving Smart Jig and Gabriel in some few seconds from now. Time for us to take the extract of the Angolan coach. Take a listen.
Play tomorrow against one big team who have the force, who have the ability on the field, who have the value, individual quality of the player, and also the value of the team. They players play in big European clubs, and they have so many possibility to play in the field and in attack, defense, and in the middle of the pitch. But we are prepared for that game. We expect the difficult game for us, because our game against Mauritania was very tough game, and in this game we expected it to win, but the football is the play where play 22 players and one ball, and everything is possible. Tomorrow, Mauritania was very tough game, and in this game we expected it to win, but the game, one of the game who is the best game, my opinion, is in Africa, in a group. Yes, I think so. We was good in the first game against Tunisia, especially in the second time, and we was have the possession of the ball and good attacking on the flank. And also we are prepared our game against Mauritania on the same way. But Mauritanian team is a tough team and was play very defend. And in this moment also we has some chances, and but we don't scoring. But Mauritanian team is a tough team and was play very defend, and in to play good. We expecting to play so many times with the ball, with attacking, and also our mind must be put in a defense, because the Mali is big team. But I expect good game, and we will see tomorrow.
The Angolan coach speaking there ahead of the encounter between Angola and Mauritania. Manjikan Gabriel, you're welcome.
Thank you, Babila. Good evening to our televiewers. And
the smart side of the AFCON.
Yes, straight away we'll tell you that the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, they are set for the last game against Benin. That will be tomorrow. And I want to say that Cameroon versus Benin, that comes up later tomorrow, is an opportunity for the indomitable Lions to seal their spot. And at a press conference earlier on today, the head coach Clarence Seedorf was present alongside Stefan Baoken, who is a striker with Cameroon's national football team. The head coach Clarence Seedorf made mention of the fact that they are going to stick with the same lineup, except some changes come up. And talking about the opponents of tomorrow, that is Benin. Benin, we should recall that they surprised Ghana in their first encounter during their training session. Just for us to tell you that in the first game, Benin surprised Ghana before they had another draw. So Benin is another country that is seeking for a third place or maybe second place in this group of Cameroon and Benin. Should be recalled, they have played with Cameroon just once. That was in 2001, and Cameroon defeated Benin by 1 goal or some 2 goals to 0. So Benin will be coming back to revenge against Cameroon. Those are the games that we decide to look into this evening. But the other matches, weekend games, let us just review some of the matches. The records that we have over the weekend, we have Nigeria versus Madagascar. That game ended in favor of Madagascar, who are just coming into the competition. They beat Nigeria, the Super Eagles, by 2 goals to 0. The head coach of Super Eagles, Gernot Rohr, made mention of the fact that he decided to rest some 5 key players who are expected to be part of their next match, so he didn't want any injury for his own players. So that is why he rested some 5 players, and that match did not favor Nigeria, who were beaten by Madagascar 2 goals to 0, and Madagascar tops that group with 7 points. Nigeria is down with 6 points. In the other group game, that is Group A, we talk about Egypt versus Uganda. It ended 2-0 in favor of Egypt, and Egypt for now are the only nation who are sure to qualify to the next round of the competition with scoring 9 on 9, meaning all 9 points have been grabbed by Egypt. And the highest score that was recorded this weekend is the match that saw the Democratic Republic of Congo playing against Zimbabwe. Democratic Republic of Congo were playing on their Independence Day, slaughtered Zimbabwe by 4 goals to 0. For now, we should just note that we have the likes of Egypt, we have the likes of Uganda, who are already gone through to the next stage. In Group B, we have the likes of Madagascar and Nigeria. And of course, as the day unfolds today, we shall be telling you those other countries that have qualified. It should be recalled that for the first time, we shall be having the 4 best 3 teams that will also qualify for the round of 16.
Thanks, sportsman Manjikan Gabriel. That was the smart side of the 2019 AFCON. Coming up next, Talking Point. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us in Talking Points. We're going to be talking about the abduction and, of course, later release of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF political party, John Fundi, and, of course, the anti-BIA protest that took place over the weekend in Geneva, Switzerland. And we're receiving a political analyst, Longla Blasius. You're welcome.
Thank you, Babila.
What's your take concerning the recent developments in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, notably the abduction for the second time of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front? What can we read within the lines of this other action undertaken by suspected pro-independence fighters?
Babila Jonathan, when I got the news, I felt so bad. I felt so bad because John Fundi has been somebody that I've done a lot in this country. He has done a lot as far as political field is concerned. He has done a lot. If some of us are talking today freely on TV and on radio, thanks to Nijon Fundi, he has played a part of it. And what happened to him, he does not deserve it. And I truly criticize and I truly kick against those that did this act to Nijon Fundi. He doesn't deserve it because his age and what he has done in this nation is so great. So we're supposed to respect him for that.
When a personality, a political figure of his rank is kidnapped, what can we say about the evolution of the Anglophone crisis?
Mr. Babila Jonathan, I would like us to understand that what is happening now in this nation, Cameroon, has been something that we cannot even predict what will happen tomorrow, because it has already reached an apex that we are unable to control it. And the only person who is ready and who we are looking up to handle the situation, he is not doing anything to handle it, who is the President of the Republic. If we
they are compelling him to call out of Parliament the senators and MPs of the SDF.
Nijon Fundi has been somebody I respect his political will, I respect his political ideologies, but of recent I will tell you that I'm no more agreeing with the ideologies of Nijon Fundi as far as political field is concerned. Nijon Fundi and his parliamentary, are
you saying that he should have bowed to the separatists and call out the parliamentarians and the senators?
Babila Jonathan, when you are asking us something, we have been asking and pleading with President or with the President of the Republic that he should solve this Anglophone crisis. Nijon Fundi and his parliamentarian and his senators, they have been dancing in the House of Assembly and so on, as nothing has been shown for it. I stand to be one of those that pray and wish that Nijon Fundi to withdraw his parliamentarian and his senators. And not only his parliamentarian and his senators, I stand to agree with those who want all the Anglophones, as far as you're an Anglophones elite, like a minister, like a governor, like a parliamentarian or a senator, to come back home. If you can resign and come back home, all this killing will stop.
Will it solve any problem?
It will solve. It will go a long way, because it will send a signal to the international community. It will send a signal to the international country, people that are looking to solve these problems. We have been begging, pleading, and asking questions, doing all sort of nasty and whatsoever that we can call for all this to come to an end, for peace to reign in Cameroon, but nothing is shown for it. Nothing can be shown for it. So now we can only take a serious action, and a serious action can be if our leaders, if our the ministers and the governors or whosoever that are Anglophones elite, they can resign and come back home. And even the senators that they are asking, they should come back home and let's sit in peace and look at how the president will handle the situation.
Now, President Paul Biya's stay in Geneva in Switzerland provokes another protest move in Geneva, around the Continental Hotel, around the headquarters of the United Nations in Europe, and hundreds of Cameroonians take to the streets protesting, rejecting the presence of their president in that country. How can we understand this?
Yeah, Babila Jonathan, to be honest, that's the best move that Cameroonians has done as far as this crisis is concerned, because I support the move.
Which has been qualified as barbaric by some...
It has been qualified as barbaric, but I qualify it as a great move. We need something that will send a signal to people, to the international community, to understand that we are feeling pains, to understand that something is going wrong in Cameroon. The President of the Republic and the regime or his ministers, they are not willing to solve the crisis. They are not ready to solve it. How can we say the President of the Republic, he is in Switzerland trying to organize, or what we call organize a dialogue?
On a private stay, he is there for a private stay. That's the
and what they say to dialogue with the Anglophone leaders. To dialogue with the Anglophone leaders. How can you go for a dialogue when what they ask for you are not ready to give? They have asked, cleaned everywhere so that there should be a clean ground. There should be a clear ground for dialogue. remove your military from the northwest and southwest. Remove those Anglophone leaders that you are put in prison, so that people will have a free conscience, people will have a free mind to sit on a dialogue table with you. Babila Jonathan, how can we say that you and I, we are having a problems and we need to solve the problem, we need to go to a dialogue table, and you have your military, you have your gendarme, you have the gun, the machine guns, and you are coming on a dialogue table with a machine gun and a gendarme, and you expect me to remove all what I want in mind? It cannot go, because I will always talk with fear, knowing that if I say what is contrary to what you don't want, you will kill my people. You will either kill me or you lock me. Remove your people from northwest, and remove your army from the northwest and southwest. Remove those that you are put in prison, so that now we will have a free mind, a free conscience, and a pure heart to sit with you on the dialogue table and talk and see how we can decide on what will happen in future.
All right, the involvement of Switzerland in the negotiations to solve the Anglophone crisis, can we expect anything from that?
As far as it is the president of the republic who has chosen Switzerland, I'm against that totally. I'm against that totally, because there is nothing that will ever come out from the regime, that's the CPDN regime, the president of the republic and the regime, because all what they do.
The Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs indicated by itself that we're going to come in to negotiate.
But it was because the president contacted them. The president, that was those that the president bring up or come up with them, that he want them to sit and to mediate as far as the dialogue is concerned. But those are the Anglophones leader proposed. Have they accepted them? They have not accepted them.
All right, Blasius Longla, political analyst, thanks for coming.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.